yeah, baby. I wanna be your fantasy. Well, maybe you could be mine. You just leave it all up to me.
Hello everyone, and you may be asking yourselves, is it Christmas early? No, you're just getting 2 videos in one day. I just had, like, I don't know why, but I just spawned this movie. Like, this is the John Cena of romantic comedies. Pretty Woman. Yeah, dude, this movie, the most scenes from this film live rent-free in my head. When, Edward, played by Richard Gere, who I know I have stated in multiple videos, like, oh, he started my, like, daddy obsession, like, he started it all. No, Richard Gere started it all for me, for liking Silver Fox older men. Oh my god, I need a man like him, but anywho, yeah, okay, so, when he talks about spending an obscene amount of money, that scene lives rent-free in my head every day.
We're gonna need from the first. We're gonna need a few more people helping us out. I'll tell you why. We're gonna be spending an obscene amount of money in here. So we're gonna need a lot more help sucking up to us, because that's what we really like. You understand me?
And when she talks about, like, oh, big mistake, huge.
May I help you? No, thank you. Hi.
Hello.
Do you remember me?
No, I'm sorry.
I was in here yesterday. You wouldn't wait on me?
Oh,
You work on commission, right?
yes.
Big mistake. Big. Huge. I have to go shopping now.
Like, this movie has set up 2 unrealistic expectations for me. 1 for men, and 2 for shopping. Because when I was a teenager, I thought, wow, one day when I grow up, shopping is gonna be like Julia Roberts. No, I hate shopping, but I wish shopping was like when she was shopping. And then men, do I need to explain myself more? Richard Gere, handsome and rich. Like, what more can a girl ask for? But let's get into the plot. So it's about, like, well, you know, this movie gets crapped on, like, oh, this is such a superficial movie. And sorry if you can hear buzzing, that's my computer. So annoying. But, like, oh, but this movie is really deep and has, like, good messages. And people who hate on this movie just, like, I just don't get it. But it's about Julia Roberts, and she plays this girl named Vivian, and she's a prostitute. And she's kind of down on her luck. And she, by, like, fate or whatever, she meets Richard Gere. And she talks about, like, oh, like a white knight, like, she dreamed she was a princess and a white knight would save her, and he drives a white car. So, modern problems call for modern solutions. And Richard Gere is like, oh, like, he wasn't looking to get a prostitute, but, like, she sold him so well that he's like, might as well. And they're both, like, even though they have, like, widely different professions, he's like a businessman. He talks about it. He, like, is like a typical CEO guy or whatever. And their professions are ultimately, like, in this movie, like, paralleled, because they both have to, like, be emotionless. They both have to, like, use their talents to get what they want and stuff. But in the movie, he's ultimately, like, looking for, because, like, being surrounded by sharks and business people, he feels empty inside.
Everybody is trying to land him.
Well, I'm not trying to land him. I'm just using him for sex.
And why do all CEO men have daddy issues? It gets into his backstory, but but yeah, and he's looking for, like, meaning to life, and she's looking for, like, stability. So I think, like, they found each other at the perfect time. And it talks about, like, the messages, like, the dangers of money. And because during that time, it was like late 80s or early 90s, like, greed was seen as good. But this, even though most people don't see that way. It's a cautionary tale of how much money, like how much money you sell your soul for. Like, does it really make you happy at the end? And I feel like it's also realistic because, like, if you're like poor, like, you're gonna be like happy, but you're gonna be worried all the time for money. But like when you're rich, I guess you just lose meaning of life. So I think it like does a good job of going in the middle. Like, you can have love and stability, like money. Like, that's just my thoughts anyway. Yeah, and then there's a lot of, but it also talks about like the I lost the freaking word, but that, like, because Richard Gere takes her on nice dates, like, really, to the opera. That scene also lives rent free in my head when she's crying at the opera. Takes her on lavish dates, buys her the beautiful dress, necklace. It also talks about, like, even though money, like, and I believe this too, money is, like, bad, the, like, how much money was spent on a date was what made it, like, ooh, you know? Like, damn, that bitch is living the life that I want. And yeah, like, I just feel like it tackles like a lot of serious issues, but I hate that it gets dubbed like a rom-com or whatever. But yeah, it talks about a lot of serious issues, and this movie is just so iconic, and Richard Gere and Julia Roberts' chemistry is unmatched, and I loved all of Julia Roberts' like outfits in the movie. It's totally 80s, 90s, like, shit she wears. It's like, whoa. It looks great on her, but I love it so much. I loved her hair in this film. I thought it's just such a good film, and Gary Marshall directed it. He also did The Princess Diaries, so there you go. And the ending is sweet. I won't spoil it for anybody. It's just, like, I don't know, like, it set up unrealistic expectations of me. I remember the first time I watched this movie, I was like, oh wow. I loved it so much. And so they get back on like the main plot. They get together. Well, Richard Gere's like, they go for a night, whatever, he pays for their night. And then he ends up liking her so much, he's like, oh, I'll pay you for like weeks. And she makes big bank, Miss Vivian. And they end up, of course, like falling in love during that time. And then freaking Edward's friend, freaking George Costanza, got a guy from Seinfeld. He's like a big douche. And then I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but when the end is near for like their weeks to end, George Costanza like is mean to Miss Vivian. A lot of shit ensues, and then they take a break for a bit, but then Edward realizes that he ultimately loves her, and that's the end. But the end scene is so cute. I love Vivian's friend. I just think this film has it all. And it's yeah, like I said, tackles like big issues like class and like money and greed, but also being a cute like romantic comedy. So I thought they did a good job of balancing the two, and it shows that people, you know, even like that Vivian is a prostitute. The film's message is like everyone's prostitutes essentially. I mean, not to like the degree of that, but everyone, like, don't look down on everybody, because everyone has like sells a bit of themselves like for money, and that's like, I don't believe necessarily a bad thing when you're trying to make it in this crazy ass world where everything, there's systematic like racism and systematic things in place that keep like the rich and tops don't like shit on for anybody for hustling basically. And then I believe and then like the uber rich are just emotionless sharks, which period. But yeah, this is a cute film, not necessarily, you know, it's a Christmas film. Because Miss Edward buys her a bunch of good stuff, which I I want. But then, you know, I just was thinking about this movie and I was like, gosh, I have to do a review on it. And then the Prince scene when Julia Roberts is singing Prince, whenever I listen to Kiss by Prince, that's what I think of.
Look, well, I just think it'd be better if you went with a date, you know? Keep it social.
Got the note.
Edward?
Talk to
You hear me?
baby.
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
If
What
you
is that?
want to impress me,
Housekeeping is singing.
got to be too flirty, mama. I know how to
Yeah.
undress me.
Listen, Edward, I know a lot of nice girls.
No, you don't.
I just want your extra time and your kiss.
But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and please like and comment or subscribe if you would like to, and have a lovely rest of the day. Bye bye.
Princess Vivian, come down. Had to be the top floor, right?
It's the best.
All right, I'm coming up.